Is this really the best picture you could pick?
Oh, absolutely.
I think it's pretty
really
good
cool
photo.
that we're having the amazing streamer Ninja on the podcast.
Yeah. Now, Ninja, what are your thoughts on Fortnite? I hear that you're I hear you hate that game.
Yeah, I quit it. I'm being stream sniped all the time. They keep taunting. I told them they're gonna taunt, and they did.
That's unfortunate. I'm sorry you had to endure that.
So Ninja Fortnite, why did you change your last name to Fortnite?
It was a good, business move. It was good for my brand because people search for Fortnite and they find me instead.
You're like a walking billboard now for
Yes,
Fortnite,
exactly.
for Epic Games.
Speaking of billboards, have you seen the whole New York Times Square thing going on right now on Twitter?
Oh yeah, I did see that.
bonkers.
There's like a battle between Jay Schlatt and Corp's husband about getting a quote on New York Times Square. Is that what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
Corp's
I believe
husband,
so.
I think, is cheating. He's got everyone with like the maximum amount of clout all pumping his tweets, like Dream, Mr. Beast.
I mean, do you really think they're gonna put something up there? I think it just they just did this to promote themselves, the Gymshark.
Yeah.
It would be pretty funny if they just didn't follow through at all.
I mean, in theory, you could get a billboard there for a little bit for a price of a few $1,000s just for the sake of saying that you did.
Right.
That's what a lot of people do. But
Sure.
I have a strong feeling this is just kind of like a PR move.
How fucked would that be?
I mean, Twitter does it all the time, unfortunately, where they say,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, I will do this at this amount of likes," and they're like, "Haha, can I have your likes back? All mine."
Yeah, no one's gonna like.
Can't wait till they bring the Twitter bank and pay my rent with.
No
Yeah.
one's gonna follow up on this. Like, no one's gonna like camp out in Times Square and be like, hasn't been on the billboard.
You underestimate stands. They will.
Yeah.
They will put
That is
tents
true.
there to see it.
They will send death threats.
Wow, the tweet that was on my phone is up there.
Jay Schlatt said he likes men.
Did Jeshlot get in trouble for that? He posted a picture. I think what was his tweet? I like men.
I like men.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. He posted a picture somebody else has made, like a Photoshop of what it could have possibly been. And somebody made a very aggressive tweet about this, about him stealing a work that probably took about 30 seconds to make of his own tweet. Listen, stealing tweets ain't cool, but this was a bit of an overreaction.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just Twitter in a nutshell.
Twitter has been getting a bit more aggressive lately in the past, 2 years. Like, I still like the platform, but I don't know. Instagram, in comparison, is so much friendlier. Do you use both?
Occasionally. I'm not very active on Instagram.
Yeah,
Twitter,
me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should get on
but
Instagram more.
I see what you mean. I think it's because Twitter kind of has its own culture that's very based around how aggressively you can like something. And Instagram just doesn't
Or
have
how
that.
aggressive you can hate something.
Yeah, exactly.
I definitely feel like the algorithm is skewed to like make you as pissed off as possible to keep you like.
This
cheating.
is this is actually a good one. Yeah, I noticed like tweets that would just be like, let's say somebody replies to somebody with like a controversial or kind of like aggressive reply, and a lot of people will respond to them. It doesn't matter if it's a bait or not, and then that reply is gonna get pushed to the top.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. There's no equivalent of a dislike on Twitter.
Yeah. And I feel like if there was,
Nobody would
then-
use it.
Yeah, either that or people would abuse it. And one thing I learned is that a lot of Twitter accounts, you can actually check this if your account falls under this, but if you regularly engage in what they describe as harmful behavior, I don't know what the fuck they mean by that, but pretty much whenever you reply to something, you'll be pushed into, like when you look at a tweet and at the very bottom there's like that little thing that says see
Like
more tweets.
additional?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I've seen
yeah.
that.
See the good stuff.
Your replies will always go there, which is weird and kind of messed up.
It's I think it's just swearing, because it's like it doesn't want people to say bad words.
That's like swearing or like pornography and stuff.
But I've noticed like people aren't even swearing. Like they'll they'll just reply with some like bullshit and go there.
Maybe it's because it's a new account and, Twitter flags us as suspicious,
Right. Maybe.
But I know what you're talking about. I've seen good replies sometimes. And it's annoying because sometimes people would respond to my tweet and it would get pushed there when I didn't even selected to go there or anything like that. And I would respond to it. And it's not even like an aggressive one. It would be like, let's say, a request for a live stream or like just a regular, reply. I would respond to it and it's going to get pushed to the bottom. It's not going to push it out of there and nobody else will receive my response, which is kind of a bit annoying because whenever I respond to tweets, I know that they will be publicly seen. And, for instance, somebody could ask a question, I would answer it so like other people know an answer to it. And then there we go. It's just gone. Yeah,
Twitter needs to do something about that. That's
Do you ever get it as well?
Pisses
Where,
me off.
Where I have it on YouTube sometimes where like I'm sure people have that happen where their tweet gets like buried and then they assume it's your fault.
Really?
So I've definitely had that before where like someone's got like their comments got an auto deleted just by like YouTube's moderation. Like I don't set any like blocking or banning or whatever up on my YouTube or like bad words, but people's stuff gets deleted and then I'll get like a comment being like, wow, you're such a coward. You just deleted my comment or whatever. I'm like, I didn't even.
No, YouTube has a very good filter actually. YouTube has a very good, good filter in the sense that like how effective it is when it comes to like hateful content in general. I mean, obviously there are like different bubbles or kind of like, echo chambers on YouTube. Let's say a commentary channel that just, talks about drama will probably have more, let's say, aggressive comments that will not get filtered. But on a regular, channel, like a lot of stuff gets filtered. Somebody could say, just, fuck you, and it would get automatically filtered. I didn't filter it out. It just, YouTube picked it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you can't manually approve every single one of them. There are thousands of them.
Exactly. But then people are like, they think you personally went and banned their fuck you comments and they're like, wow.
It's like, no, you said subscribe to me for a free iTunes gift card. Of course, YouTube isn't going to fucking let that through.
That's a good way to ruin your day is just go and read all those restricted comments. It's like,
yeah.
Okay.
I like pinning bad comments occasionally whenever somebody's being extra mean for no reason, just to pin it for a little bit. Because, I don't know, it's just funny. Because then they immediately, kind of like retract their statement. I feel like they just wanted to like, being angry and whatnot.
Oh no.
But but it's not a good idea. I don't recommend doing that because I feel like it encourages more people to do stuff like that, which is not cool.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I try not to interact with any comments like that. Even though sometimes you think of like something really funny to respond with, you're just like, I don't even want to. You don't want to make that like, oh, I know if I say something really mean, he'll roast me, and I want to get some people like go out of their way to try and like they like you, they want to get attention from you, but the only way they can think of doing it is to like aggravate you, sort of thing. It's very bizarre. I don't know.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
So, do you guys want to get started?
Yes.
Oh, we did it.
Oh, well, I guess we haven't had a formal intro yet. So
okay.
let's go and do that.
I'll keep the first part. Like we don't need to like cut that part out, but yeah, we should probably introduce the show.
All right. You're right. Okay.
This is a podcast.
Hi, and welcome to my podcast.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the first podcast. Jameskii, go ahead and start this dog thing for us. Wouldn't you? Oh no.
Hi, and welcome to Among Us Funny Moments.
Part 78.
Among Us Podcast. Can we rename it to Among Us Podcast?
Yeah.
Actually, we were talking about a rebrand.
Yeah, sweet. That's a good idea. I mean, it will do much better. It will get recommended and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this over again. Okay.
Welcome to Among Us Podcast, formerly known as the first podcast. Not really the first one, but wait, did you actually rename it?
Yeah, they changed the server name. It's done.
All right, welcome to Among Us Podcast, formerly known as the first podcast. My name is James. You guys can introduce yourselves. We have Blue among Trip.
Well, this is kind of cringe because my name's also James.
Oh no!
But I'm the Blue Among Us Drip.
No, you're not the Blue Among Us. I think we know who the imposter is.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that for a second? Because it seems to me like everyone on YouTube is named James. Like,
yeah, we got a lot of sexual tension.
There's Jameskii.
James actually, you know the odd one's out.
Many kudos. His name's James. There's James Miller, John Swan.
Yeah. We know a lot of people named James.
Hello, my name is James.
Myself included. And now you come on here and dare to challenge me as the original James.
There's too many Jameses. We need to do something about this James epidemic.
You can refer to me as just Jameskii.
No, it's okay.
fine.
We'll call you James. I never called Kudos James, but maybe I will
You can call
now
me Jeremy if you want.
to
I'm
confuse
sorry.
everyone.
I'm sorry, James. I didn't mean to do this to you.
Look, we changed the name of the server, so the least you could do is change your legal name. I mean, that's
Yeah, please. Yeah. Ninja has Ninja Fortnite. You could be James.
Can you legally change your name to Among Drip? That's the real question. First name Among, last name Drip.
There's no law against it. So can we talk about this for a second? Because every time someone brings up the concept of a legal name, I like to ask everyone on the podcast what would be their illegal name. Like, what would be your like hard street name?
Can we get
Among Drip.
an imposter sting?
Wait, on the soundboard.
Yeah, the do 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 do. You know.
I don't think he knows you're talking to him.
Well, when you said a
I like
legal
that you
name,
left him out there. You let him out to fucking dry.
Dude, we're only 2 minutes in and we're already talking about illegal activities.
Oh, this is good.
anyway, yeah. What would your illegal name be?
Yeah.
Smokes McWeed.
Okay.
Whoa. That's not even illegal in America.
And you gotta change your birth certificate to April 20 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1969.
Yeah, that was wrong. Yeah, mum was a bit late.
I'm gonna change my legal birthday to 1, just 1, because that's what my
One.
TikTok
first
says.
one.
Yeah, when I was making my TikTok
Oh.
account, it allows you to scroll all the way to just 1.
Jesus.
I don't know why. I don't know what they expected from that, but you can select yourself as a born as at the year 1.
Yeah.
Does that mean like 1901 or like just 01 AD?
1.
January 1st 1.
Did they even have? I don't even know if they had January back then.
I don't know why that's so funny.
You would get in a lot of like a really weird what are they called, credit reports. Like you're gonna have so
yeah.
much trouble. I was just watching like not a documentary, I think it was a late night show, don't remember which one it was, where they were talking about people having issues with that. You guys know your credit scores, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, can we all read them out?
So you know how there's like 3 firms. I don't really remember their names, but they specialize into creating credit reports. It's just not just your credit score, but like how trustworthy you are. And apparently, 30% of population or something like that had issues. Quarter of which had major issues. That means one out of 5 people in the US had major issues with their credit report. They could just confuse you with somebody else. There's a lady who lives in Iowa who can't, even rent an apartment because the credit report says that she's dead. So she has to prove every single time that she is alive.
She has to stand in front of them and do 3 big breaths, and they're like, "All right."
I'm a real person. I'm
She's
not
the
dead.
imposter.
So when she goes to like apply for something and she says like, "Oh, I want to apply for this," like they don't believe that she's alive when she's
Yeah,
right
exactly.
there.
No, because
They just
they
laugh
do
in her
background
face.
check.
They're like, wait, you're dead though.
You're
what?
At least one real estate
Well,
agent.
see, this is why you got to change your name to Smokes McWeed.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but that is true though. I used to work at like a debt collector place, and for a while there I worked in like the department where we would like check people's credit scores for like loans and stuff. And there are things that do stick to you if you like share similar names and birthdays and stuff like that. So that is 100% true. It is funny that you could get mistaken for just being straight up dead.
Especially if you're born on the 111.
Yeah.
That would be the worst one.
Well, he's obviously dead. He's been around since year 1.
How do you think all these people actually create accounts? Because like most of the websites, they only allow you to go to like 1922 or something in that range. What if you're older than 100 years? How do you make a TikTok account? Because they removed the whole 1 thing. I'm the one of the few people who were born on 1, on TikTok. You can't do that anymore.
Maybe they don't want old people to be dancing on TikTok, otherwise their like bones will snap or something.
Oh,
it's
Jesus
like
Christ.
it's like a safety thing.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like they get away with not having all of the years on most of those age verification things, just because like if you're over 100 years old, I feel like being active on the internet is probably not your number one priority. I feel like just like catching up to the fact that radios and faxes exist is probably like your limit at that point.
Right.
Like, that makes sense to me.
Well, once I'm over 100 years old, I would definitely want to have a TikTok account of a proper age.
I think it's going to be different for us though, because okay, so it seems like right now the old ass people, like the boomers and up, are all not all, but almost all of them are completely technologically inept. But I don't see that happening for myself. I feel like when I'm old, I'm gonna want to do all the crazy like holographic like sex stuff that they have out at that point in like VR, like I'm gonna want to embrace the technology to like 2100 or something. That's gonna be cool.
On that same hand, though, like a lot of boomers are so very like mechanically adept. Like, you know, they can like repair cars and do shit like that, which I can't do. And maybe to them, like to their parents, that was like, oh, you're always fiddling around with those damn motorized horse carts. Like, okay, I'm getting my generations mixed up a bit, but you know what I mean.
I feel like once we get older, you know, there's a bit of a truth to that, because like we grew up with different type of technology, you know, the kind of internet type stuff in the first place. We're much more, we have much easier access to information in general, so we just see all the new trends, how everything changes. But like, dude, let's be real. Like, I assume most of us over the age of 20, none of us found Big Chungus funny in the first place, right? But like, we're all, you know, find fascinating how a bunch of children did. So, you know, from our perspective, this is exactly the situation as to like, you know, let's say boomers who would be like, hey, why are these pesky millennials buying avocado toast and, you know, Starbucks coffee, right? Like, they don't understand that. We don't understand Big Chungus.
Right.
You know, so there's always, this is just kind of like a weird example, right? But like, there's so many other ones I could come up with.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. And now the technology changes. With all the VR and the AR on the rise, especially with all the AI stuff, there's definitely gonna be like some sort of like you know, a lot of people. Oh, think about it this way. Think of facial recognition, right? We don't want it.
Yeah,
right. Like I assume you guys don't want it. Yeah, it feels like a, you know, violation of privacy. You know, there are good users of it, there are bad users of it.
I've already cut my face off.
Yeah, I want to stomp for a neck.
But kids in the future, let's say 20 or 30 years from now, will grow up, you know, with different, let's say, privacy standards. Their stuff is going to be absolutely everywhere. Like, they're going to have a massive digital footprint. They're going to be in a different spot. And, you know, we probably wouldn't want to adapt the new technology as well, because we wouldn't be like, feel comfortable with that. Think about it. I don't want to
sell my face to Google, sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like it just kind of like a bit of an example. There's definitely going to be some sort of technology that will not be really accepting at first or at all in the first place. You know, just like with, you know, older people on the internet, they just kind of like, yeah, where's the remote? How do I control this thing?
My mum refuses to even put a photo of her on her Facebook because she's so against that kind of like privacy thing. So there's kind of like the gradient. But then I'm like, well, I don't care. But then yeah, like you said, there's kids younger than us, or, you know, future generations who are going to be like, yeah, well, I just have to upload pictures of my face and give them full rights to use it and anything they want in the future, and then I can finally play Roblox. Send them a vial of my sperm,
because it's just going to be like documented their entire life.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like not even an issue. Yeah.
Well, I kind of stopped worrying about that kind of stuff though in general once I realized that once you have a driver's license, they have a picture of you already, so it's like. The damage has been done.
It's true. DMV sells so much data. It's crazy.
Yeah. But I feel like with a lot of like apps on the App Store, you know, a lot of them have like these weird third party, like these weird little things that are buried in their like TOS, or like, you know, the shit that you like, you hit accept
no
on.
No one's ever going to read that shit. They can hide anything they want.
Isn't there like a South Park episode about that?
Yeah. Wasn't that the human Sentai pad? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good episode. And I always think about that.
There were some stats I saw that was like, if you were going to actually read every terms of service, it would take you like 3 months out of the year or something. Like there's some, like it's just physically impossible to read all the terms of service you're presented with on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
I think there's an extension or an app to do kind of like a TLDR of those. I never tried it, but I heard about it.
But that's probably quite useful.
Wait, serious?
Yeah. It just summarizes everything in simple terms. It's like, hey, this app is going to do this, this, and this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Also, from what I understand about American business law in particular, I think that you're not allowed to hide like absolutely ridiculous stuff that no one could reasonably anticipate. Like, I think there's a reasonable person standard for that.
Sure, like you got like, oh, by signing this, you owe us $500 or something.
Yeah.
Like you can't just sneak that kind of stuff in there.
Yeah.
By signing this, you're my girlfriend.
Ah, that'd be nice.
I mean, some companies in the US get away with charging you a fee to unsubscribe to their paid service, which should be in theory illegal, but they usually make more money from people just kind of giving up on this.
Right.
You know, than whatever they get fined.
Until they get like sued or whatever, and then they just deal with it. Yeah. They've already made a ton of money at that
Yeah,
point.
because the fines are fixed. The fines have a limit instead of like, overall, like, let's say revenue they would make off, violating the law or whatnot, which is a bit of an issue. That's why a lot of companies get away with doing like really weird stuff, especially to do with like data. They just kind of like don't care because they'll make more money off it anyways.
Yeah.
We have that here where like it's illegal to be open on certain days like Easter. Or there's like certain public holidays, but the prices are fixed, like you say. So like, they have to pay $5,000 to if they're open, but they'll make more money back from selling sandwiches or whatever. So they just take it on the chin.
That's interesting.
So it's not really illegal for them.
Well, like it is illegal, but like they just get slapped with a fine that they know how much it's going to be, and then just deal with it. I wanted to go back before you mentioned like the future generations and how they're different. I saw something interesting on Twitter the other day about people just stealing tweets and how it's sort of like things like TikTok, where the whole point is just to, take something that's already been done and just do it again yourself. Like there's sort of that like originality has been kind of diluted a little bit.
Yeah.
And how people are stealing tweets, and then there's all these people in the replies like, oh, just get over it. It's just a tweet. Like, why are you whinging about this? And it's like, they're not wrong. It is just a tweet. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
They monetize it. Most of the time, they monetize it. They make a lot of money off other people's stuff.
They start a thread with like those like stupid weird lights. You know what I'm talking about? Like there's like 100 things they're selling.
That thing that goes into your sink for some reason.
Oh yeah, and like those weird pore removers. It's always the same things. Like like the tweet could be anything. It'd just be like, I shit in reverse and went back into my ass. Oh, check out this Ocean Light 2.0 from Amazon. Use my referral link.
It's so funny when they try and act real, like try and get original with it as well. Like they don't just
check out my SoundCloud, please, guys. Guys, I put so much effort into stealing this tweet.
Yeah. If you like more stolen tweets, be sure to follow me.
I put more effort into stealing this tweet than making my music. Please check it out.
Like there's that tweet that always gets stolen. It's like I think the most recent one I saw is like this chick tweeted it, but it's like a picture of a box of hentai, and like the caption is like, my dad gave me this box of anime and it's hentai, and like everyone's like, oh you're so cool. Oh, you watch anime?
You watch hentai anime? It's funny when you see like a funny tweet and you just Google, like you search the exact text on Twitter search and it comes back.
Oh yeah.
Either they've stolen it or all these other people have stolen that tweet, and it's so shameless. I don't know, it's grim.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like a lot of tweets could also be just, people coming up with the same idea or inspired by something else. So that happens too a lot.
I'm always afraid of that.
That is true.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing when it comes to designs, because I work with that all the time, and it's pretty funny to look at all, coincidences and, inspiration. Just like everything has already been done in like certain extent, really. So I wouldn't be surprised it's the same thing with jokes. There's always been like a joke that you've said by somebody else in the world, maybe just not on Twitter.
Yeah.
To that point, do you think comedy will get harder? Like as jokes continue to be either recycled or basically that slot being filled, do you think we'll ever get to a point where every joke conceivable will be made and like comedy will just be...
No, not at all. I feel like it's actually that's a very interesting question, because I feel like, okay, from my perspective, I'm a little bit concerned about the AI when it comes to like photo and video, because it really doesn't take much effort into, editing certain stuff, like, putting a bunch of filters and whatnot. Okay, listen, mini roast, but I can see you using Red Giant VHS filter on that tweet and on the podcast as well. You didn't even bother changing, any of the settings. I know that because I work with that shit all the time.
Right.
And I don't mean it in a mean way. I'm just saying, like, it's simple. It's yeah, good.
Yeah, I do as well.
Fuck you,
Lars. I didn't make that.
Fuck you, Lars.
What I'm trying to say is, it's basically like people can drag and drop this thing onto their video, and it gives this cool kind of VHS effect, which is not really necessarily authentic, but it's not something everybody could do, let's say, 5 or 6 years ago, right?
Right.
Like all these filters, dude, Samsung, I believe it's Samsung or just Androids in general, have like sky replacement, tools on their pictures. You can take a picture and then you can generate clouds and the sky, making it pretty, which is really impressive. But at the same time, I'm like, fucking hell, I've been waiting for so long to get a nice sky, and here you are. You press on 2 buttons on your phone, and there you go, you have it, right? So it's definitely like killing that. But with comedy, I feel like it's something that cannot be really replaced by AI. The jokes will definitely repeat. People will use the same jokes. People will get inspired from other jokes. People will steal. People will say something that's been said before. But I feel like it's one of those things that can't be affected by the same way as, let's say, like I said, video and photo does. Even music can be AI generated. There are AIs that try to continue the song from just little samples. You might have seen them.
I have seen those.
Oh yeah, I have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, like, everything is possible, and it's getting like, better and better at it with like, each year. Comedy is one of those things that it can't really do that. You can create an AI that will write descriptions on YouTube for you. Like, there's a lot of big YouTubers who do that. Have you seen Jameskii?
I've heard the name.
The guy mostly does kind of like kids-friendly content. No hate towards the guy, but it's pretty obvious the descriptions in those videos are generated to put as many keywords as possible. It's okay to put
like
keywords.
SEO farming.
Let me just give a wild example. I'm gonna open a random video, just gonna read you like the first 2 lines so you get the idea. Okay, so I opened it. Last time, brothers, not twins, competed in a do-it-yourself competition to sneak snacks into the cinema movie theater with SWAT-level security as scary guard dog, fake pregnancy, baby bump filled with sourest gummy versus real food, edible do-it-yourself sour candy clothes, an impossible shapes hole in the wall challenge, and a giant life-size mystery wheel. That was one sentence, by the way.
That was
one sentence. I'm gonna send this on Discord just so you see the whole thing. This is the description.
It's like my Pornhub search.
This is the description.
Well, okay, question. Do any of those things pertain to the actual video, or is that literally just SEO farm?
The video title is 15 funny ways to sneak candy into the movies too, and how to not get caught. Last to drop food wins.
Oh, okay, so
sure.
I'm assuming there are no hilarious TikTok dance challenges.
I think I almost had a stroke from reading the title alone. And that's the most recent upload from, or one of the recent uploads from 2 months ago, 15 million views.
Oh god, that gives me hemorrhoids.
Yeah, you could create AI to generate this stuff. Using keywords on YouTube is fine. YouTube made it this way. It's okay to people use it, but I don't think you can really make a good AI bot that tells you jokes and like that are consistently funny. It's I feel like a lot of it is also to do with delivery. Like, some people can just repeat somebody else's joke and other people will laugh. Everybody had this incident in school when somebody would just repeat your joke and, people they would just repeat it louder and better and everybody would laugh and clap, but not to you. So I feel like AI is going to struggle with that for many years.
Humor's so much like context as well, and like timing and the person, like say your videos are people who are watching it, there's like, they know who you are and obviously your delivery and the backstory behind, you and your videos, that adds like a level of humor. And then obviously the timing and the encounters that you come across, it's sort of, you couldn't just like cut out the words that have been said in your video and just like read them out on a stage, like in the Joker. And like context is a big thing. And I don't think an AI could replicate that necessarily because there's that human element that's, I guess if it could perfectly imitate a human and then you kind of like got to know the human or this fake human, and then you're like, oh, I like this this person I think is a human because they're, this or that. Maybe that might help you relate to them more and make it easy to laugh at their jokes, but I don't know.
Well, just to your point, there's that video of Alexa and that guy, and like he's like talking all sexual to her, you know what I mean? He's like,
oh god,
Alexa,
that's a funny video.
I want you to fucking fart for me. And then like she starts whispering back to him.
I will whisper back.
Oh, you're a dirty bitch.
And then it just actually farts.
Hold on, let me order one.
the timing
It's so
for that
funny.
is
It's so
Wait.
funny.
Have you seen that live stream where they made two Alexas or like Google Home things talk to each other?
Yeah. I saw that.
yeah.
That was a really entertaining live stream. That was so intense. It was like in a span of 15 minutes, they managed to propose to each other, get married, get divorced, and then I think pay alimonies or something like that. Oh no, what is this?
Oh, that's what I was talking about. You should definitely give that a watch.
I like the channel name.
I didn't ask to be bored. That's good. That is probably my favorite video on the internet.
It's just such a funny video.
Oh, I wanted to bring something up to you guys, which is I was talking to Kudos about this when he was doing his Twitch stream, which is apparently a thing he does now.
What do you mean apparently?
Over at twitch.tv/minikudos?
Oh, yeah, I started streaming literally yesterday. So yes, twitch.tv.com/Jameski. You can find me there. I stream 3 times a day.
What do you stream?
I've literally just done one stream so far doing I played Sea of Thieves. It was a lot of fun.
So we were talking about the idea that it's kind of something we take for granted, which is that it would be really easy if you wanted to right now to just absolutely fuck everything up in your life in like 1 second. The example I was given at first is like, if you have to pee,
saying the gamer word.
If you have to pee, then technically you don't have to like go to the restroom to do it. You could just pee all over all of your stuff, and it would just like completely ruin your day. And it's like Kudos was calling it, I think it was the call of the void, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what it's called. It's the feeling when you're like looking over a cliff or like a tall building. You're standing on the edge and you're looking over, and you could I could just jump off and die and be dead in 2 seconds. It's called the call of the void, where your brain purposefully like goes out of its way to imagine like the worst possible thing.
I'm sorry.
Could do.
Can I just ask about the correlation between peeing your pants and jumping off a building?
I'm very confused as well.
So last minute you pissed everywhere, and now your room is full of piss, and now you have to spend like 5 hours cleaning it up, and like that's just something you could do. And then
you could,
or you could jump off the building to avoid the responsibility of cleaning the floor.
I think Lars is saying how in a matter of like less than a minute, your entire life could change. And maybe the kind of piss thing, bit different.
I don't think the example of peeing your pants was a good one. I don't think your life would really change from you peeing your pants.
Yeah, it'll probably change for the next hour.
But not peeing your pants. I mean like taking out your dick and just like peeing all over your stuff. Like just your entire room, for example.
You could ruin your PC.
But it doesn't ruin your life permanently. You'll just clean it.
Well, it would ruin your day.
Like if you piss in your computer and it fried it,
like maybe,
and now you don't have a computer.
I mean, there's a bit of a difference between jumping off a building and ruining your day by peeing everywhere.
Yeah. I think a better example would be like going to a park or something and pissing on all the attendees to that park. That'll probably ruin your life.
That probably would, yeah.
Or going to KFC and peeing on all the attendees.
I wasn't necessarily saying like there has to be a hard criteria to what you're doing that where it ruins your life. I was just saying it's just interesting that we're kind of composed people for the most part.
We're 30 seconds away from ruin.
Yeah, we're always like really close to fucking shit up.
Right. Should we do a speed run and see who can do that the fastest?
You guys go first.
James has got the biggest following though. He could just go on the bridge and
pee?
Player
I think I'll pass.
Battleground. And okay.
Well, I think we got way too sidetracked. We haven't talked about Jameskii at all, and I think we should do that.
Who's that?
That's who is Jameskii? Lars, who's Jameskii?
I don't know, man. You just kind of wandered in here.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I think we should talk about our very humble guest here. Jameskii, tell us a little bit about how you. This is my podcast. Tell us about how you got tell us about how you got banned on TikTok 4 times.
So, the first time I got banned was because... Okay. So, a bit of a context. I started using a TikTok when it just, the app was pretty much just made. They were just, starting to advertise everywhere.
Right back in year
and
one.
You can imagine, like, any new platform is basically a wildlands. It's basically, like, everybody's on their own. Everybody's still trying to figure out. A lot of stuff is still very offensive. Think of, like, early YouTube. Think of early, Tumblr, early Twitch.
Right.
So, TikTok had, just in general, like, TikTok, a lot of stuff on TikTok was fairly either, like, edgy or offensive, but not, like, in extreme way, more like, I guess, like, kind of messing around with each other. Right. And so I stumbled upon this girl. Unfortunately, I don't remember her name. Whose entire, like, persona, or I guess, like, her entire channel was just dedicated to pretending to get punched, slapped, kicked with, like, the same audio of, like, kind of like, slaps and then laugh,
Right.
going on. And the whole app had this whole duet thing where you can, like, stitch your video together with somebody else's. And that was her entire stick. I don't know, like, why, but I assume since if you make a duet, it kind of, like, recommends you the other channel, or it gives likes to that channel. That's why she did, like, so well. And so I made the joke TikTok where I pretend to dab and I think slap her in the face or something like that because yeah, it sounds ridiculous, but, like, I didn't mean it in a mean way, right?
Right.
And then at the end, I pull out a shotgun and I shoot her. Listen, it sounds much worse than it looks. I will tell you what, it sounds much worse. I actually have a bit of a backstory for that. Sorry, not backstory, but, like, how it almost got me in legal trouble.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
They
and
thought it was
TikTok, and TikTok got me, it took down my stuff, and I think because I reposted it took it down. At the time, TikTok was actually, like, taking down accounts that were doing stuff like this. Now, I think they just take down TikToks and maybe something else, but I don't think they actually ban you, like, permanently.
Right.
And I believe that was not because I slapped her, it was because of the gun in the TikTok. They didn't want that. And I understand, and I'm sorry, TikTok. I did not mean to shoot that girl. So
TikTok is listening.
It wasn't
to this,
real
so.
TikTok. She's still alive.
Like, I don't have any hate. It was kind of like, because then when I made the second account, I made kind of like a kind of revenge when I threw my slipper at her.
So you kept going with the same chick?
Yeah. I guess it was kind of like a bit crossing the line between, like, just kind of, like, mean in a funny way, but not, like, actual, like, mean it. And, like, actually just being a little bit mean. So I'm not really a fan of those TikToks, I'm going to be honest. But, TikTok was not a fan of that either. But, legal trouble, I can tell you this. This one is a little bit, I guess to an extent, is a bit, like, more sensitive topic. Brings a sensitive topic, so I'll just give a warning. But
Here, let me play the warning sound. Okay, go ahead.
So, I remember when I was flying over to San Diego, or no, was it San Diego? No, it was San Jose. And for the context, that was about the same time where I did I think a Q&A video where the whole, if you search up on Google, this is not family friendly, you'll find a picture of me with shotgun, and it just says this is not family friendly. Probably in a bad quality, because every single time I see somebody repost it, it loses a bit of its resolution and its quality to the point where it's like, it looks like Minecraft. And so
Steve
it was around
real.
that time. And I remember I was sitting there in one of the offices, and they were just asking me about where I'm, like, flying and stuff. And they were like, all right, where are you flying? I'm like, I'm going to TwitchCon San Jose. They're like, no, where exactly are you going? I'm like, oh, San Jose. And they're like, oh, is that where the shooting just happened? It was, I believe 2017. That was, a tragedy when somebody pulled a gun during the live stream. I think it was NHL or something like that. Oh. And it was terrible. It just happened like a week before the whole thing. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, okay. And so they search up information about me. and they open my Twitter,
Oh
and
no.
the first thing they see is me pointing a gun at the screen where it says, "This is not family friendly." They click on that with a straight face, and all the replies to that, literally all the replies were all people like reposting that, exact picture in the replies.
Oh no.
They're like, "Oh, okay," and they just closed it. Fortunately, I didn't get in any trouble, but I think that was really close. I think that was really, really close.
Yeah.
I feel like we should address what Jakiki just posted in the recording chat.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that either.
That is concerning. Apparently, he's deepfaked Jameski's head onto Nicki Minaj for WAP.
No, that's not Nicki Minaj.
I don't remember signing the TOS. I know I didn't read any for this live stream, but I don't remember consenting to this. My face has been, edited into more videos during this podcast than throughout my entire lifetime.
Can we include this in the
Cardi
render?
B. It's not
Amir?
Nicki Minaj.
I know.
Probably not. I'm not gonna. I can't play the mute. I mean, but maybe. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Can we do the? Can we put it in there on
You can just
mute?
replace the audio of this.
Please.
All right. All right.
So what you're saying is that we shouldn't never record videos of yourself holding weaponry or guns because it will be used against you. Go, please.
Honestly,
Oh,
I'm gonna be fully honest. I feel like just posting a picture of yourself with a gun in any sort of context, no matter if you're famous or not, like no matter your position, is just a bad idea. It could be completely taken out of context. There's like so many, like, I guess I can't say meme celebrities, but there's so many people who posted pictures of them holding guns, and people would make up stuff about them, some of which is like just as a joke, some of which is just horrible stuff, right? They could say that this is the person. And let's not forget what Reddit did with the Boston bomber. You don't want to end up in a situation like that ever in your life. And, posting a picture of yourself holding a gun is, one step closer to that, putting you a step one closer.
Oh God.
Even airsoft in general, like I would avoid that.
It's a good point.
I'm a bit worried because there's a lot of pictures of me with fake guns.
yeah.
Plenty
your
of me as
videos.
well.
Well, thanks for the heads up. I got some scrubbing to do.
Do what that guy did with the Harry Potter. He went through and replaced all the wands with guns. Do the opposite. Replace all the guns with wands.
With wands. I'll replace them with fleshlights.
Sweet.
Well, they're more harmless.
Fleshlight gun.
Oh, can we to kind of shift gears here? Can we talk about Jameski Confessions?
What?
What? Hold on. I feel like there were more TikTok banning stories. I feel, or was that all of them?
Oh no, not really.
okay.
What Jameski Confessions?
Okay, so someone found this. I forgot who it was on the server. They found this blog on Tumblr. Which I'm just gonna put a link to it. I don't know if you've seen this before.
I think I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you probably don't want to actually watch.
Yeah, I'm fine. no hate towards the person who made that, but I would rather avoid the Tumblr stuff because I wouldn't be surprised if it was made by, a really dedicated fan or a kid who didn't know like any better. But I feel like, while a lot of creators will not really say much about it, just not to like, come across rude, for a lot of people, it's kind of like, I guess you could describe us a bit weird. In a sense, just like stuff like this.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring this up to make fun of it. I was actually going to get into it because I think it's interesting because we were talking before the show, and apparently this is a very common thing where after a certain amount of fame, the people are going to make a confessions blog about you.
I don't know about confessions, but I know that, a certain part, and I feel like, especially during the recent years, it's been raising in popularity. People start using your face as a profile picture on Twitter and other social media, which is...
Yeah.
I can see why some creators would be fine with it, but I feel like, I don't mind people using, let's say, fun artworks of me if, the artist allows them and whatnot, or, making parody accounts, which is completely fine. If it's like obvious that it's parody, like let's say they make a pirate version of me that just translates everything into like, pirate language. But I feel like if somebody is using your real face on Twitter, and let's say, hypothetically, they respond to somebody on Twitter, somebody completely random outside of all the, circles and
Yeah.
whatnot, with something, let's say, mean or something controversial, other people who are not familiar with you will associate that face with that statement.
That's
You
true.
know, so the next time, let's say, they see you, they could potentially assume, even like it just kind of like subconsciously, that you said that, without
Right.
realizing it. If that makes sense, it kind of phrased it poorly. That's why I feel like people should not be using, profile pictures of, let's say, YouTubers, like real faces. If it's not like a parody account, I feel like they actually can cause harm. I know they do it out of like usually good will because they love them and want to support them, but I feel like it can actually bring more bad than good at times. Depends on how
Yeah.
people do it.
I think stan culture in general does that.
Yeah.
I feel
The
like
association.
yeah, I mean, it puts like a public eye on your fan base, and like typically with a lot of creators, not all of them, but a lot of creators, their fan bases are, I don't want to say crazy, but they go out of their way to really make their presence known.
Well, once you get to a
what I
certain
mean.
size, just statistically, there's going to be a large number of as you grow, there's going to be more and
Right.
more controversial or abrasive people who don't quite understand social norms, who decide that you're the person they're going to champion for some reason.
The
Right.
problem with it though is that it's like for the most part, it's probably going to be kids that are doing this.
That
Like
as
not a
well.
lot
Is it
of
though? 'Cause I feel like I for a while I was under that same assumption, but I don't know, man. I think a lot of like people in their 20s do this too.
Maybe, but I wouldn't say as much. So
Eh,
I think, especially
yeah.
say like the K-pop stands and everything. That's a lot of like teenage angst and just general like emotional confusion
Right.
being funneled into telling people on Twitter to kill themselves because they don't like a certain band. That
Right.
seems to be the general the vibe, I think, but just translated to YouTubers.
It is also kind of tricky because it's kind of like the situation that happened with Ninja. Did you guys hear about this like today?
Oh, Ninja
With,
Fortnite.
Oh,
Yeah. Where
that's the women thing, right?
he got in trouble with Anita Sarkeesian because like some of Ninja's fans were sending hate to some other creators, I think particularly female streamers. And it's like, I obviously think I want to say that you should discourage a certain type of behavior in your fans. Like, obviously I would want to say to anyone listening to this, don't go start shit with other creators. And then obviously don't say stuff with our avatars that is bad, like Jameski's example from a few minutes ago. But there's really not much you can do except just say that. Like how do you stop it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
'Cause you could also have bad actors doing it on purpose, like, oh, I
Yeah.
don't like this person.
Oh, people do that all the time. It happened to me and a couple of friends of mine a good couple of times when people would
Oh, really?
pretend. Yeah, they would pretend to be fans of mine. They would say really extreme stuff and it would be like, hey, this is your fans, by the way. Kind of like, really smug about it and whatnot.
Oh.
And it's pretty obvious they don't even like care about you whatsoever, but like they would get really, really toxic. And it's really bad because it's kind of like, in general, it also affects like your actual community. Think of Discord servers.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it happens on this particular server, but there's a reason why a lot of like creators, they don't either have Discord servers, they shut them down or made them private. Because public Discord server, once you become like, big, it brings certain guest type of people who might not even like watch your videos in general, but they become so attached to the server, especially if it has like leveling system. They
Yeah.
start to act very elitist in a way. And they would get, start in the fights of moderators. They would try to use loopholes in the rules. They would start, acting really weird. And mods would often hesitate into, let's say, enforcing the rules because they're like, well, they're regulars. Maybe they can do better. But
Yeah.
then, both moderators and the creators start realizing those people don't even care about you. They don't even watch your videos, but they bring toxicity in the server, thus discouraging the actual fans, from connecting with each other, if that makes sense. It happens all the time. The reason why it doesn't happen in some huge servers is often because those servers actually hit the limit. So people are being super careful without breaking rules because they know they can't just rejoin if they get banned. Because like it just, reached its capacity. There's, kind of like whoever joins first. Think of Carson's server before it got shut down. People were, better than a lot of huge servers because they
Yeah.
just didn't want to get banned because they knew they wouldn't be able to rejoin.
It's really
Right.
interesting. Like, I know on here, there are some people, and on a lot of the servers for the creators that we've had on the show, like sometimes beforehand, I'll go on their server, and it's like, it's clear that there's a culture that's developed beyond the creator. And sometimes I'll run into situations where it's like, yeah, I don't even watch this YouTuber at all. And they're literally just
it
there for the
happens all the
community.
time.
Yeah.
And it's really, really weird because you don't know how to go on about it because technically this is the community server. This is for the fans to connect with each other.
Yeah.
You know, so long the person doesn't bring like toxicity. And let's say, hypothetically, you have a Discord server of, let's say, 20,000 members, and then you have an art channel. And let's say somebody occasionally posts, artworks there that are not really to do anything with the creator, but they don't bring any toxicity. They just share their stuff. I don't have a problem with that. I wouldn't, at least. But
Right.
if somebody's like trying to start, fights in general, start like, being hateful towards other people, that's when the problem raises. And unfortunately, Discord servers, I feel like it just kind of like a vocal minority type thing. They have much more power than a lot of other places because they could go and be toxic, and other people will just get a bad impression. Like I said, it will just kind of like, in simple words, scare off the actual users from communicating each other. They will not feel comfortable.
Right.
Well, I know that's why also a decent amount of creators have private Discord servers where they only invite like either like the true fans or people who have literally paid for access in some situations. Like I know the official podcast has a Patreon only server, for example, where fans can congregate, and it's pretty chill there because of that. Like, because it's really there's an expectation at that point where it's like you kind of have to be on better behavior. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems to work.
No, most definitely. Like, I spoke to a lot of friends about the servers because, in general, it's just very difficult to manage any Discord server in the first place. You have, depending on your size and how much you promote your server, you could have 100,000 people sitting there, and you can't really see or do everything. You have like other things you have to, focus on. And I discussed it with a lot of, of my friends, bigger and smaller creators, and literally without like any exceptions, everybody said they had no regrets into going like private or getting like enforcing the rules more strictly. Not a single one of them said
sure.
And I can see why.
Sorry.
No, I was gonna say because it's a bit different from social media, because in social media people will not really act the same way as they do on Discord. Discord is chat rooms. On Twitter it's a bit different, just kind of like individual like tweets, posts, and stuff like that. Same with the YouTube comment section, just one thing. Here you have chat rooms. It's a much bigger scale, and it's much harder to moderate or to even like be aware of like what's going on there. A lot of creators don't even like actually check their Discord servers. They mostly use it for announcements, and can't really blame them for that.
I have a Patreon area, and then just a general like the rest of it's just whatever. So actually, some of my patrons are in here, so hello to you. But yeah, I pretty much just hang out in the Patreon zone because like you're saying before, Lars, it's such a chill vibe compared to the rest. And the rest of it's really fun too, and I've got some really nice people there. But it's definitely like when you need to just be amongst people who are gonna behave and relax. It's definitely the way to go.
I've also found that sitting around on the server, it's how can I put this without pissing people off?
Just be honest about it.
Yeah, the typical discussion on a Discord server, this one included, is not like super productive in a lot of cases.
So everyone's just trying to figure out who else is sus. It's like, I'm sick of it.
Yeah. And it's like there's a lot of shit posting that goes on, and it's
sorry.
Like
Never
my
gonna
day.
get old.
I just want to say, like, there are a lot of really cool people on this server, for example, but I mean, I have noticed that the average Discord discussion is completely worthless in most cases, like anywhere you go. Like I'm not having good, productive, life-affirming discussions on here for the most part, I've found.
I think that's probably to do with age a lot.
I think that's just the internet.
Yeah.
I think it's just the internet. Yeah, when you don't have like niche, dude, think about like Reddit as an example. Think about the major subreddits that are on the homepage, like R Funny, R Gaming.
Oh god,
and think of, let's say, more niche ones. Which one do you think is going to have a much more like actual decent discussion?
Oh, absolutely.
A niche one or the one that is like being seen by millions of people?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's really like a whole thing about how like once a subreddit becomes mainstream, it loses like its whole edge or what made it interesting. Like people will just see this one specific thing about it and then like run with that. And now like through no fault of the people who run or originally use the subreddit, it's just now completely taken on this different life that is, sometimes the complete opposite of what the whole thing was made for in the first place.
Yeah.
And now it's just lost. I've seen so many good subreddits full like that, and you go on them now and you're like, this is awful.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys subscribed to r/games?
No.
Games or
Games
games?
is alright. Goon Caves is the big one that me and Dopix have been on lately.
I found that our games, as opposed to our gaming, has managed to, because some subs will actually enforce that you kind of have to have productive discussion, otherwise they're just going to delete your shit.
Have you seen Science subreddit?
Yeah, science is really hardcore with that.
Yeah, have you seen? No, it's not just even hardcore. I feel like it censors so much like actual discussion. I hate the comment section on Science. Some of the stuff people post is like, I guess kind of like generic, like, oh hey, we found that we could remove one cancer cell from a rat using a banana or some shit, something we hear every week and then never hear about that again for like a couple of years, But the comment section is very annoying, I would say, because like I don't really post on Reddit much, but I lurk, mostly like tech subreddits and mostly stuff to do with like hardware, just kind of like hobby stuff. And I like going in the discussions even on less interesting posts just to see what people say about it. Seeing people converse. People could make jokes. People could say something that would be just interesting. But I feel like with science, this is the annoying part because you want to see what people say about science stuff, and then you go in there and then just like nuke, like it's like a war zone. Just like there are more deleted threads. Have you seen like our science? Like you just open any post and check the comment section. It's weird. Because the thing is, you can never know what was deleted.
Yeah.
Oh, you can.
You don't even know what they said.
I did find a website. I think it's called Undelete. And sorry, maybe it's... There is a website though. If you just Google like Reddit deleted comments, there's a website you go to where it like passes the history on that thing somehow.
But is it really worth it? The thing is, is it really worth it?
But if you're really curious about what went down, there is a website that does somehow like undo the deleted comments. It's been useful for research. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I found that usually it's the only comment you want to read on that sub is the first one, like the top one, because it'll explain why what was posted in the article is BS. Because there's a lot of junk science on that sub.
Right. There's moisture in my anus.
Here's why that's wrong. Your anus is actually one of the most arid places known to man.
You should make an article about that.
Yeah.
It would get,
and then post it on our science. And then it's going to get reposted that they did the math. And then it's going to get reposted again into technically the truth.
And then and then at that point, the JPEG is crisp to the point. It's like Minecraft Steve.
Yeah. And then it's going to get a stone to Instagram, and then it's going to get cross-posted to Hole Up.
And then iFunny, and then 9gag. There's 3 watermarks at this point. 2 bars at the bottom.
It's lost so much of its quality. And
then it goes on to like Reddit, like deep fried memes at that point. It's so cooked.
Yeah, just gonna say anus and that's it. It's just at that point.
Anus bottom text.
I really wish there was a way to you can't even really do it with the metadata, I suppose, but it'd be fascinating to see if you could somehow like trace the history of a meme like that, like see how many places it's been through. That would be an interesting video.
Oh, no, think about this is not family friendly. Let me actually search it up. I'm sure the first image that will come up is like the most distorted one. Hold on. So, I search it up. I open images. Oh, okay. It doesn't even come up anymore. Because that's not family friendly. I don't even know my own memes. Sorry. Because I didn't make that meme. People made that. Yeah. Okay, it doesn't really come up, but like there's so many distorted ones. Look at the quality. It's not even the full thing. It's cropped. Like, like why? Hold on. Oh Jesus Christ! I saw so many offensive memes of that. Oh no.
Oh no.
I did not know about that. So they post like something like, wait, what the fuck? Hold on, look at the quality of this one.
Let's see it.
Like, what the fuck?
So
Why is
distorted.
it so bass boosted?
Can I ask, is that shotgun real?
No, that one is not real.
Okay, that implies that there is a real one.
That image is so distorted. I've never seen it in this condition. This is terrible. Like, I cannot even see my face. The AI will struggle in the future when it tries to, like, trace my face. It will have a really hard time.
My favorite is like those old memes from like 2010 that have just been reposted so many times that now when you see them,
Cover
it's
yourself
like,
with oil.
Yeah, it's like a
looks
fine
it's been
vintage.
set on fire.
Vintage.
Memes age like wine.
I do love that troll face and stuff's coming back. Like, people realize that Wojaks are just reskinned like Rage comics.
Yeah.
And now they're like,
I feel
they
like we don't
totally
talk
are.
about that a lot. By the way, I feel like and a lot of people who post Wojaks it seems like the Venn diagram of people who post Wojaks and people who would think that Rage comics are cringy is like a circle. It's really weird. Like we're pretending like we haven't just brought back 2010's Reddit at this point. It's very strange.
That's true. Although I would say that Rage comics were a lot more like, because I feel like the Wojaks.
To be fair, it's really the same format being used all the time.
is.
Think of the Drake one. You know, the one of he's like, leaning away from one and pointing at another. That format exists in so many forms. Think about the guy who's like smiling and staring at the screen, and then it's like his smile disappears. It's all the same stuff. The thing, what makes, I guess, a Rage comic so different is the whole. Well, does it actually
like
have
the 4-panel comics?
not 4-panel, but more like, I don't know what it's called, but kind of Dodge speech, kind of meme has arrived. I think that's the only thing that sets it apart, but it's really the same stuff.
God, I wish we could bring that back. It just go completely stupid again.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one other thing that separates it is that there's a certain innocence to it, I think.
Yeah.
It reminds you of a simpler time when you're like, remember when Rage... Like, I joined Reddit just to read Rage comics because I was like, these are fucking awesome. Like in 2010.
Can't blame you. People did that. Everybody.
This is like 2010. I was like 17 or something. I was like, these are fucking awesome. It's weird. There was like one of the most popular subreddits, and you go on it now, and there's like one posted every like 2 weeks. It's very bizarre, but there's still like millions of people subscribed to it. I don't know. It's one of those weird algorithm things where I guess it just died for some reason.
It's a vintage.
Isn't it weird how 9gag died so fast? Have you been to the website? It's gone. Like, the only stuff that is actually gets any traction on 9gag right now is pretty girls and gaming. Really, that's it. Yeah, no, legit. Like, it used to have so many more users, and I wonder why. I feel like, Reddit and Instagram really killed it. I'm pretty sure you used to get banned on 9gag if you said Reddit. If you said Reddit, you were getting shadow banned back in the day. Or it was just a myth. I don't know. I can't confirm that.
Well, I think because they realized that Reddit was just like objectively a better website, I guess.
Nah, I reckon the people who use 9gag would have gone to Instagram, I think. It seems like
that's what I was going to say. I think
the bar was pretty low.
Yeah, I think that there's really no point to go to like a specific website for memes when you could literally go anywhere for the same quality of memes. Like, the point of a website that's specifically just for posting funny JPEGs is just kind of obsolete now.
True. Because I'm getting my funny JPEGs from Twitter now.
Yeah, getting that JPEG fix.
And then some people just go straight to Imgur for some reason. You're a real freak if you do that.
That's true.
Going straight to Imgur. My favorite thing about 9gag is every time 4chan would do like a raid on some website or like a poll, like some internet historian shit where some poll was just left unattended to name the new Mountain Dew flavor or whatever, and they would always raid it and then blame it on 9gag.
Wait, didn't 9gag try to like hide a stone or something like that, like a memory of like memes?
The meme stone. Yeah, and then
I remember that. Was it even a real thing, or was it like all made up?
I think it was real.
What's the meme stone? What is that?
So okay, imagine a Rosetta Stone, but for memes. So 9gag thought it would be a really cool idea to create a stone with a bunch of like meme stuff on it, and then hide it in the middle of nowhere, so someone in many, many years will, dig it out and, find all this.
See all these epic 2017 memes or something.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. There's a Know Your Meme page on it. If anyone wants to look this up.
Oh wow.
So apparently it was real. I didn't even know that. I thought it was like
It's like a PR.
they made it up and that it was not actually hidden.
Right. Maybe that's what those monoliths that were popping up a couple months ago were.
Meme stones.
No. It was just the most anticlimactic what's it called ad campaign. I don't remember I don't even remember what it was for. That's the thing. I don't even remember what it was for.
I think it was just like a 9 gig promotional thing. Like, oh look.
No, it was not. It was not 9gag. It was something else. It was some service, I think. And that's the thing. It was so bad. And I think the reason why it was so bad is because it was really forced. Because
right.
Let's be real, nobody really cared about it until the mainstream news started reporting on it for some unknown reason. Maybe because they didn't have anything better to post. Forced memes. People don't realize that, but forced memes don't really hold their value so much, and I don't think people will really realize that unless they grew up on early internet. Think about Super Bowl. The whole thing of what's his name? The Weeknd. His distorted face. Listen, I love his songs, and I think the meme is okay, but it's pretty clear it was forced. It was okay. How often? Okay, you all use Twitter on your phones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me, did you receive a notification after Super Bowl from Twitter saying the hottest meme of the week is Weeknd's face?
Yeah, I didn't get a notification, but I did see that on trending.
It was trending like
in Australia.
It was trending of only a few hundred tweets. It was pretty obvious that it was either paid or they wanted it to be a meme, which is okay. Companies do that all the time. Can't blame them. But do you see this meme anywhere now? People were making cool edits about something like, "Hey, me when my mom leaves me at the line at the store, but it's my turn," and stuff like that, and a bunch of cool edits. It has a potential, but it was pretty clear that it was forced, and people forgot about it in just a week because it didn't really hold up. Think of older memes. The reason why they were so why they lived up for so long and being remembered is because they had this kind of how would I describe it? I guess exploitability. You could alter them in a certain way to keep them alive. Think of Uganda Knuckles. Right. Uganda Knuckles was not just yelling quotes from Who Killed Captain Alex and spitting on people. Although 10-year-olds thought that was the whole point. People made hundreds. No, not even hundreds. Thousands of different Uganda Knuckles. Their own variations of it. There were for instance, my friend, how I met him for the first time, he made an emo version of that, wearing a jacket, a cigarette with a makeup, and he looked up to me and said, "There is no way." And that's what made it funny. People were just doing this alteration of this, the whole way meme. In the different forms, and that's what made it. Yeah, that's the one. That's him. That's a screenshot from my video, awesome. Or I took a picture of him, and I was like, this man ran up to me. He's a great guy. Now we're friends. After that encounter, now we're friends. But it's just an example. Good. Uganda Knuckles was a pretty big deal. I got a story about Uganda Knuckles as well, which is pretty funny if you guys want to hear about it.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Please.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a small world scenario. So my family doesn't care about YouTube, internet, or anything like that. Nobody even uses any social medias, nothing like that at all.
Right.
And Uganda Knuckles was a pretty huge deal. It was pretty much everywhere. But I remember passing by my house about a year after Uganda Knuckles, finally died out. And my mom likes to collect magnets. She's one of those moms who just, travel around the world. She likes to just buy them in different places. And as I was leaving, I see a magnet. And it's a really close-up face of a Uganda Knuckles. And it says, "Do you know the way?" And once again, my mom doesn't watch any of my YouTube stuff at all.
Right.
And I'm like, "Mom, where did you get this magnet?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't remember where she was. I think she went to Romania or something like that." And she's like, "Oh, well, I just came back from Romania the other week, and I was looking for a charge, and I asked this random guy about it, where is it?" And this guy was like, this way. And so I found this little magnet at one of these, street vendors that really reminded me of that guy, and I thought it was real adorable, so I bought it. And I'm like, holy crap, Mom, do you know where this is from?
Your mom met Uganda
We had
Knuckles.
a very interesting conversation after that. Yeah, it's just like such a small world situation because she doesn't even care about all that. She didn't even know about the whole Uganda Knuckles thing. It's, I'm actually amazed how far the whole meme has gone. And it kind of sucks that a lot of people just associate with, harassing people and spitting on them, which is, I'm not surprised, but it sucks they kind of like overlooked the other part, the pretty part of the meme.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you ever find the way, or is that just...
Shut up.
Okay.
Oh, hey, James.
Yeah.
Yes?
Okay. No, so...
Well, you genuinely could have been talking to either of us there.
Yeah. Jameskii, I'll put it that way.
Thank you.
Yes.
This may end right away if you say no, but I'm curious, since we have had him on the show before. We have had another guy who's famous for his VR chat stuff on the show before named Drumsy. Do you know who that is?
I think I heard the name. I think somebody mentioned it once, but no, I'm not really familiar.
Okay, moving on.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Well, because he's one of those VR chat legends, and I thought, like, if you guys had interacted before, you might have, like, a story or something, but
maybe we crossed. I wouldn't be surprised, because, if it's a VR chat creator, there's a fair chance we have crossed before, but I definitely heard the name before, but I don't know them personally.
Okay.
Can we talk more about forced memes?
Oh yeah, I do like this discussion of forced memes, but I do just want to do a quick little kiss ass session. Just say that your VR chat videos are very good. I watched them a lot, especially during the the inception years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty cool to be able to speak to you now. VR chat is fun. I played it when I first got my headset and never played it again because it's a completely different world playing it yourself versus watching somebody else do it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's a good question. Well, obviously your videos are the funniest moments from, your streams or just recordings you do in general. How much of that, what's the ratio? Because I know so many people see oh man, you hop in VR chat and it's just non-stop memes. What's the reality there? How much do you actually have to cut out? And
okay, so first of all, thank you for the comments. I really appreciate them, and I'm glad you enjoy them. You'd be surprised. So, just for the context, because I don't know how much of background research you've done, probably better than any of the tax and the credit score reports, but firms. But I do YouTube and Twitch as a hobby. I have a job outside of it. So, when it comes to recording videos, I actually record pretty much all the time whenever I play games, even when we're just, chilling with friends. Just because it's just kind of like a habit, because you never know when something fun is going to happen. And that's how a lot of videos are done. We don't really, I don't message my friend and be like, hey, let's record a video, right? Maybe recently, I get requests and somebody will be like, hey, play Noita. This is a game called Noita. And, and my friend Fonzie, he loves Noita, and I'll be like, hey, you want to play it on stream? Type stuff, even though it didn't make it into a video or anything like that. It's more like, let's gather, do something stupid, and maybe it will make it into a video. The video doesn't come in mind first. So VR chat is, I guess, is a bit different from other videos, because there is approximately 1,000 hours of recorded footage, which, if you calculate all of my videos, the total length, actually makes only if I'm not mistaken, 4 or 0.9 of overall footage being used. Because people will sometimes do this mini roast, be like, hey James, why are your videos called VR Chat Nutshell? There's 20 episodes and whatnot, which I understand. One episode
There's
is 1 hour long.
Nutshells.
Yeah. And so it's still under 1%. It still lives up to its name. It's still under 1%. But the reason for that is not because nothing funny happens, is because I just have really, and not to pat myself on the back, more it's kind of like a curse. I have a bit of a high standard, for the stuff that goes into a video. And a lot of it, I just kind of throw it into deleted scenes folder that I just never end up touching. It's just kind of memories. Most of the videos I make are essentially photo albums. I make them for myself and my friends to remember, but also, since people really love them, I also share them online. there's so many videos I make that I just never end up posting. You know, I just leave them unlisted or just scrap them entirely. And VR Chat Natural is a bit of a different beast. My friends are hilarious and absolutely amazing. We do a lot of like bits, you know, a lot of role play and a lot of just kind of like interactions that never ended up making into videos, which kind of sucks sometimes to see when people say something like, oh, you're just, you know, using your friends, you're not doing anything by yourself, because they just don't really watch my live streams, or they don't really realize what is happening outside of, you know, the videos. Because the focus of the videos is to make the person laugh, not to like, you know, hey, I made this avatar, I'm going to show you this avatar for 30 minutes, you know, that thing. Speaking of which, you guys want to see my recent avatar I made in VR Chat? Hold on. You will love it. I know you will.
By the way, guys, if you're listening to this episode on audio, sorry, you're going to have to catch it on YouTube.
You will have to imagine it. You'll have to imagine it.
Paint us a word picture.
Well, you should also watch the
this
YouTube
image.
version of this anyway, because it's all Among Us trip. Oh,
but it gets better. Let me see if I have a better picture. Let me see if I have a better picture. So I made a little upgrade, and I made it so other people can use it as well. So you know, this happened on the first day on the public lobby.
I can't tell which one's sus. It's perfect.
yeah, they're all sus. I think that's the thing.
So yeah, like, you know, there's so many things that don't make into videos. So to answer your question, it's mostly because I just don't end up using it. But whenever I go on VR Chat, I feel like pretty much every single time I might be like, let's say, having not the best day, maybe something happened, maybe just, you know, I'm bored. You know, I barely ever leave VR Chat in a mood where I can say something like, yeah, I didn't enjoy that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm always having a blast, just not always makes into videos. The big reason why, you know, VR Chat natural videos also take so long to make is the intros. Because I feel like this is a bit of a curse. Every single time I make a VR Chat and natural intro, I feel like I have to top the previous one. And it's really tough when, you know, you do something like a VR Chat Natural 20 when it was a easy breezy opening and whatnot. Because often when I try to parody, like, you know, big shows, I have to reach out to all the companies, I have to reach out to artists, which is not always easy, and not always they, you know, give me rights to do that. But even if they give a permission, it's very, very difficult in the first place. But maybe if But I also don't want to, like, you know, just keep milking it. I mean, milking as in, like, just keep uploading VR Chat natural stuff only. I don't want to be just known for that. You know, I want some variety on my channel.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I think it's mostly like, because for me personally, like, obviously, I think it might have been your first VR Chat video that got recommended to me years ago, and then I just started watching your other stuff. I mean, I think that's typically how it goes. I mean, I know a lot of creators, they do sort of feel like boxed in to like doing one specific thing, but I think your style is very it's very universal to where you can kind of apply it to really anything.
Right.
It's just more like the VR Chat video is just more of like a gateway for people to just kind of get in the door and start watching the rest of your stuff.
I feel like that's really how it is. People discovered me through, let's say, my flagship series, which are usually like, you know, Roblox, Garry's Mod, VR Chat primarily.
Yeah.
And they stick around for other stuff because, you know, on my Twitch streams, you know, which I don't really like, you know, push them out as much. Like, hey, guys, I'm streaming. Most of the time, I don't even like tweet about going live. You know, I could stream a relapse score game and still have a, you know, blast of my viewers, you know,
right.
most of the time. And, you know, it really means a lot.
Wasn't that kind of how it goes eventually, where it's like once you build up a fan base, there is a good portion of it that literally just is there because they like you as a person and they just want to tune into whatever you're doing. Not everyone, but
I guess so. Yeah,
that's what you want to aim for. I think like you don't want to be sort of people just come only for the content and they don't care about you. So then if you do want to, I always think about how like JonTron swapped from being just video games to just I don't know, whatever he wants to do, because people started coming for him, not because they cared about just video games. You know, I think that's a good place to be in because it gives you that freedom. Like you're not boxed into just making VR Chat videos. You can make whatever you want, and people just they find you and your friends funny.
Yeah,
and, like your style of video.
I wish YouTube was not blacklisting me so much, because then I would do even more like variety in general. I would not feel like, you know, that I have to scrap some of the videos that are less than perfect.
Sure. Well, I do want to ask you because I was watching your stream today, and you did mention about how like you mentioning Twitch, like you plugging Twitch could might have adverse effects on your YouTube?
What I implied by that is like it's just kind of a YouTube TOS that a lot of people are not familiar with, but you can't really redirect people from YouTube to other platforms.
Right.
If they find it like, damaging to their platform, they can like, give you a strike. I mean, most of the time, if you just say, hey, I stream on Twitch, they will not care about it. But if you make a community post, hey, I'm live on Twitch right now, or if you, especially if you make a video saying, hey, I'm live on Twitch right now, people got on strikes for that in the past.
Wow.
Sure.
Which is understandable, that's the reason why I had to like, specify why, like, hey, I'm just going to mention it quickly and, just, hey, if you're curious, check it out.
Right.
I don't, I don't want to sound like, I guess, forceful in a way. I don't want to be like, hey, guys, watch me tomorrow where you control my game, I'm like, hey, listen, if you like my stuff, tomorrow is going to be a good stream, So, but if YouTube, like, blacklisting, this is such a mystery to me, like, to sidetrack a little, because, like, even to this point, I'm already used to opening my analytics and seeing that 95 to 98% of the views are from the subscribers only.
Right.
My videos just simply don't get recommended, like, only some of the older videos. And they only recommended, like other videos get recommended to channels that have at least once watched my video, But people who are completely new doesn't really get promoted, doesn't really do that. And it kind of sucks because it just, stagnated my growth significantly.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. Why do you think that is?
Well, technically, if we look at it a technical way, because, I'm friends with a lot of amazing people who help me, like, investigating the issue. A lot of them are kind of behind the scenes guys, so I don't really want to mention their names because I don't know if they want it or not.
Of course.
People work for like bigger channels, even, my friends who, let's say, do stuff for Jimmy, Mr. Beast, they help me analyzing the stuff. And by the looks of it, this is just kind of a theory and nothing has ever been like officially proven. The reason why it has happened is because I took a break during when it was like about to be the peak YouTube, I guess, kind of like a time. Yeah, how like people go on a summer break, people take vacations before the summer, stuff like that. So I took a break when everybody would be normally, when normally YouTube's views would increase. If that makes sense. I'm not sure how to phrase it the other way. And I came back by the end of the summer when people were going back to schools, when people were getting back to work and stuff like that, which disrupted the algorithm, making it seem like I missed the peak viewership, and I came back when the views are the lowest, which disrupted the algorithm, making the YouTube assume that people don't really care about my videos, right?
Oh, I see.
And it's been happening for like a year and a half. We had to hit up YouTube many times. They assigned a person to specifically monitor my uploads. I uploaded one video that performed just a little bit better than other videos during like 6-month period once we start noticing the pattern. And they said, oh, there's no problem. And they just like, just kind of like, it just bounced. And I'm like, really, guys? Really? So I really hope they actually investigate it.
You should have uploaded a really bad video on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, that's the thing. I posted some of the videos on different channels where I did not even advertise them. Those videos got millions of views. I took them down. I took them down. It was just solely for the experiment. Exactly the same video. According to my friends who like manage a lot of like giant channels, my channel, the Jameskii one, has to go viral because the audience retention, which is one of the most important parts on YouTube when how it promotes videos, is very high. The CTR is pretty fine as well. The feedback, like interaction, is good too, but it just simply doesn't, and we don't know why. Some videos perform better than the other ones, but it's a mystery. I feel like I'm being artificially like limited here, and we don't know what to do. That's why I've been posting more videos on like, other channel, but I still post on both.
Yeah. I mean, well, that kind of I mean, obviously YouTube has had these like weird, like secret little, I mean, that's the algorithm, right? Which
I don't think it's a
sucks.
secret thing. YouTube is pretty known for having like issues that they will deny. They will say that we investigated and found nothing. As an example, remember how about like 3 years ago when every single time you would upload, you would lose subscribers for no reason?
Yeah.
And KSI was one of the bigger creators who addressed it multiple times, how he would lose like thousands of subscribers every single time he uploads. And YouTube made a video saying, oh yeah, we investigated. There's nothing. And then it was proven and they're like, oh shit, you're right. When people like, actually, brought it up. And I feel like that's the problem with YouTube, how YouTube investigates stuff. They don't really acknowledge the issue unless more and more people start talking about it,
Right.
which just sucks. But I understand that the scale of the company is really huge. It's really difficult to monitor stuff that is not even like, human control.
Yeah, it's hard to monitor everybody.
So I can't really blame YouTube as much, but I do wish they actually looked into issues like this, because I'm not the only channel that is affected by it. I know a couple of other creators, but we still don't know what to do.
Yeah. I think that subscriber problem is still happening because, like, I don't upload very often just because, like, I'm an editor by trade, so I'm working for other channels, and then, like, for my own stuff, whenever I do upload, I lose subscribers, but, like, they come back slowly. So I feel like that issue has never been rectified. I don't know. I think they probably only prioritized it for much bigger.
I feel like it might be just happening to so little channels, most of which are like, on a smaller scale. They can't really be heard, you know?
That's true. Plus, I never really complained about it because I just don't care, so.
Fair.
You do get that thing where it's like, what was that issue that Critical had last year? One of his videos got striked, or there was some unfair thing, and he was able to like rally enough people.
Oh yeah, I recall that.
I can't remember what it was exactly. But that was definitely.
I remember what it was. It was I think he did kind of like try not to laugh, or he had a video where if I'm not mistaken, about animal, like people dressed up as animals, like jokingly beat somebody up. It was like a staged video or something.
Yes,
and I recall. The problem was he got a community guidelines strike, and then Markiplier didn't, and Markiplier, stood up for Critical and be like, yeah, if this is, a TOS, then strike me as well.
And then YouTube
was at first denying it.
I think
so. I don't know.
Yeah, they also struck Markiplier
after he'd called them out. He was like, hit me, and then they did, and then both of them were like, okay,
nobody should have been hit for that.
This is bullshit. And then I think eventually YouTube was like,
well, they
okay,
reversed
you're right.
it.
But that was definitely one of those moments where it was like these massive creators were able to rally a huge amount of people behind them, all harassing like YouTube's like Twitter support, and then YouTube was like, oh, okay, we'll do something about it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's sad that that's like you have to be of that sort of scale to actually get something fixed like that. And obviously, anyone who's smaller than Critical, one of the biggest channels on YouTube, just kind of gets left in the dust. Even someone like you with almost 2 million subscribers, it seems like they're just like, you'll be right. You'll figure it out.
do you think I will get to 2 million subs in the next 3 years?
Do we think you will?
I subscribe to you, so that's one.
Well, here's the thing. I have a feeling that I'm going to reach 1 million subs on my second channel before I'm gonna reach 2 million on my main one.
I think it's possible. I mean, I feel like when you're at that number, like, growth isn't that hard compared to like a smaller channel. I think if you,
I don't know.
Means in regards to the blacklisting, right?
It's like that's what I'm saying. It's not about how it scales. It's more about the situation on my main channel and the situation on my second channel.
Yeah,
right.
The second channel is doing okay. I'm not really pushing that many videos, and if I did, I feel like it would have helped the channel a lot. But I feel like at the rate it's growing right now, without me even promoting it, because I don't think I've ever mentioned like that. My second channel, the only time I mentioned it is when I originally created it. I just made like a little Discord post that has been seen by only like 300 people at a time, where I just said, this is not a fake channel, this is mine. That was the sole purpose. And I never advertised it. I just posted videos, most of which didn't even have any like tags, any keywords. I just posted videos, the same ones I would post on my main channel. It got 100K subs in months, and I'm not talking about like a full year months, but like just a few months, like just in no time without me advertising it whatsoever. But meanwhile the main channel is getting screwed over like this, so I don't know what's up. Like, I just want it to be fixed, dude. I just want to get it fixed.
Would you ever
I think
jump to using your alt?
I think if you that is a good option.
Would you ever, like, if your alt did overtake and obviously wasn't blacklisted, do you think you just move on to using that one instead and just maybe?
I mean, I always feel like I could continue using both. Like I said, YouTube is just my hobby. I'm not really tied to it like financial or anything like that.
Right.
I mean, it definitely helps. I use most of the money on stupid stuff, charity, and helping pay the bills, right?
Shotguns.
Yeah. No, for real. Like, I spend pretty much all my money on helping friends and just, creating like new job opportunities outside of YouTube. But with YouTube, I feel like, no, even if my main channel is blacklisted, I feel like even though being fully honest, it kind of discourages me from uploading it at times, and I feel kind of wrong. I feel like sometimes, because like I will see the video underperforms, and sometimes kind of like a phantom thought appears in my mind, like, "Hey, did I make a bad video?" Type thing.
Right.
I would still see the feedback, but then I would still have doubts about it. When in reality, it might be partially true, but in reality, it's still kind of like all up to like AI to determine if the video will get promoted or not.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like nothing is stopping me from keeping, let's say, more safer content on my other channel without watering it down and having something like fucking abortion clinic pizzeria on my main one. Yeah. Nothing is stopping me from separating the two because, obviously it's a satire, but, my friend Albert, he had a channel called Albert Stuff. Now he runs a channel called Flamingo, and he almost got canceled, by a bunch of little babies because on his Albert Stuff, he used to do more edgy type of content, right? And I feel like it's okay to separate the two as long as like, especially if you make it like, pretty obvious, like, hey, this is satire. But, kids don't really
Not your
understand what
mother's
satire
YouTube
is.
channel.
So the abortion pizza clinic isn't real.
So let me talk about the abortion clinic thing.
Yeah, I have that on my notes to ask you about
Wait,
that.
before we get into this,
let me tell
by the
you
way,
something.
I just wanted to mention, Doplex, how are we doing for time?
I want to hear the story.
Okay. So let's call this overtime at this point because we're getting to the 90-minute mark, and we'll just.
Sorry, didn't mean to stretch it.
Oh no, it's
How
fine.
dare you?
We'll just we'll give the rest to the patrons. So let's continue.
All right. Anyway, so Jameskii, if people wanted to consume some of your, I'm trying to think of a good word to use here. If people wanted to consume some of your drip, if somebody wanted to stick an IV in their arm and consume your drip, where would they go?
Home. the computer on their mobile phone. Yeah. Advice to anybody who wants to check out my stuff. Don't.
Yeah.
But if you still want to, I have a YouTube channel,
Brave soul.
channels, and I have a Twitch channels. And if you just search up my name, chances are you'll find a bunch of stuff. Channels. I'm mostly active on Twitter. Channels. At twitter.com/Jameskii. But I also have an Instagram. Channels. And I think I'm done plugging my stuff. Channels.
You can plug some more stuff if you want. Just like not your things if you want.
Plug anything.
Yeah, just
good.
whatever you want.
Plug whatever you want.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything else to plug. I don't really plug that stuff that much. I don't really collab with people. I just do stuff on my own.
Yeah, you want to plug Subway, maybe Domino's.
After I found out they don't even have tuna in their tuna sandwiches. Not really.
It's actually a cow.
Yeah.
It's a cow?
Yeah.
Tuna is a cow.
It's the fish of the land.
Okay.
All right, good.
I heard the news about them not having tuna in their tuna sandwiches, but I didn't know it was a cow. Now I want to plug some Subway.
It felt like a real community movement, like I felt touched in my nether regions by other people's uncles